Welcome back, and this is Ladies Level Up, the podcast. I am Anthony, your host, and this is episode 6, the final episode in the strategy sheet series. And you guys, we made it to the end. And I want to say something like I intro every video. If you did this, I am so proud of you. If you are here, you've been working through the series, completing the sheets, doing the work, it's going to pay off. You have something that majority of the women just don't have. You got a strategy now. You actually have a strategy, you're going to use it, and what matters more than any tool, any template, any framework could ever matter on its own is that you actually have the mindset. So today we close the loop, sheet 6, the weekly content planner. This is where everything you've built across all 5 sheets stops being a plan and starts being a practice. I know, I've been implementing myself, you guys, and I've been showing up for you, so I'm proud of myself. Strategy without execution is just expensive daydreaming. You can have the most beautifully built annual roadmap in the world. You can have 3 pillars, 3 clear pillars, a documented vision, a brand audit full of insight. And if you don't build the weekly habit of showing up with your intention, none of it matters. Like, it just doesn't matter. It's out the window. The weekly content planner is the bridge between strategy and action. It takes your quarterly focus, your monthly goal, your pillar, and your offer into what you're actually doing on Monday, on Tuesday, and on Wednesday. It answers the question every content creator faces at some point, okay? When you have this planner filled in, that question is already answered for you. You don't have to think, you just have to execute. That in itself reduces fatigue, and it just reduces anxiety, and you kind of just get on with it. You just do it. I literally just say, I'm just going to film, and if I don't like it, whatever, but I'm just going to do what I'm supposed to do. Like, the planner gives you the energy, gives you the confidence to just really execute. Let's walk through this planner. So let's walk through what's exactly on sheet 6 of the strategy sheet and how to fill in each section. So at the top of the sheet, you have your goal. This is the goal for the week. One specific measurable outcome, okay? Not post more. Something like drive 50 people in my lead magnet landing page. You know how I like for y'all to really get in there, get deep with it. Generate 3 consultation inquiries from my reels. Everything you plan this week serves to that one goal. Then you have 7 days, Monday through Sunday, each with 3 fields: the type media file, the caption, the format, whether it's going to be a reel, a carousel, a static image, story, a text post, podcast, clip. You know, you have everything that you need to be able to put it down. Not every day needs to be the same format, but every day that you're posting needs a format decision. Like, you have to make a decision made in advance, so you're not trying to figure it out the morning of. This is a specific asset, that media file, so don't lose that. And if you need graphics, like what photo, all the things go into that. So I know sometimes I need a list to just really, you know, I need a cover photo, I need this, I need that. I put all of that in that weekly content document so that I know exactly what I need to hit the mark. When you edit in batches. When you post from a bank of ready content. This is the common bridge between production and publishing. Like, this is it. Caption, your angle, your call, your CTA, all this stuff is going to be in this actual document. And you might not see enough pages, enough space on the document, but we're in Canva, honey. You can always make more. You can put it in your notes. This is very important. So I want you to really think deep on that one. The actual writing happens in your content creation session, not your planning session. Okay? 2 separate things. So the pillar rule, let's get into that. The pillar rule. Here is the rule that makes the weekly content planner actually work. And this is a non-negotiable, okay? Every single piece of content you plan on this sheet must connect back to your 3 brand pillars from sheet 3. Everything connects. Connect the dots. Stay with me here. Not most of them, all of them. If you plan a post and you cannot tell me which pillar it belongs to, you do not have a planned post. That's not me being harsh. It's just me protecting your algorithm signal as well, your audience, your clarity, and your brand cohesion. So you can't just be all over the place, okay? Here's what happens when your content is scattered. When you post about your personal day in the life, and then your business in the next, or a product you love the day after, and then a motivational quote that your audience they don't really know what you're about, okay? And when people don't know what you're about, they don't buy from you. And remember, all this is to monetize, okay? Remember that. They follow you for entertainment. They don't follow you for solutions. And solutions are what get your offers bought. So we want to be solution-based. Pillar-based content signals your audience and the algorithm that you're a specific resource for a specific person with a specific need. That specificity builds trust. Trust converts. So run every post through this filter. Which pillar is this? If you can't answer that in 5 seconds, it doesn't go in the planner. Okay, so when to fill in the planner. Here's my recommendation for this one. Here's a recommendation for how to make this a sustainable weekly practice. Set a reoccurring time every week. And I recommend whether it's Sunday evening or Monday morning, where you sit down with your strategy flowchart from sheet 5 and your weekly content plan from sheet 6. This is your content strategy. It's very easy. I have it mapped out for you. I told you I did this for you, okay? It should take no more than 30 to 45 minutes. Step 1, look at your flowchart. I'm looking at it. What quarter are you in? What pillar is the primary focus for this quarter? What is your monthly active goal for this offer? Step 2, with that context, plan your week. How many days are you posting? Which formats are you using? What media do you already have in the library? What do you need to create? Let's get real here. Step 3, write your caption directions, not the full captions. You just need your angles and your CTAs. You'll write the actual caption in a separate creation session. I always say that, just like focus on your content separately. Step 4, plan your media production. You need to know if you're filming, if you have to get glam, if you're calling a photographer, if you're doing it yourself. Pull anything from a previous shoot, block out time in your schedule for production before the week starts. That's your workflow. I typically shoot on Fridays. Just plan a day. Produce on Monday or Tuesday. Schedule the rest of the week for, just to show up without scrambling so that you have everything already ordered for you. Like for me, I have to shoot, I edit my own stuff. So I like to shoot on a Friday and then I spend a lot of time in the car, editing my stuff. It just works. It just works for me. The to-do column. There is one more section on this sheet that I want to highlight before we close. And it's the to-do column to the right side of the planner. We all need a place to jibble jabble and just write stuff down, right? This column exists because content is never just content. Every week, there are non-content business tasks that need to happen for your strategy to move forward. Following up on a partnership inquiry, updating your lead magnet, sending a pitch email, preparing for a consultation call, reviewing analytics. I do this all the time. I am all the way in my analytics. The to-do column keeps all that visible in the same place where you're planning your content, because you need to see it sometimes. And because content and business operations are not separate, they actually go hand in hand. They feed each other. Your content drives the inquiry. The follow-up closes it. The delivery builds a testimonial. The testimonial feeds the next piece of content. And don't let the to-do list column become a giant overwhelming list. Just list like 3 to 5 business critical tasks for that week, written with the same specificity as your content plan, specific enough to execute, limited enough to actually complete. Simple, right? And I think we're done. That's sheet 6. That is the complete strategy sheets framework. 6 sheets, 1 sitting, your brand fully mapped out. Voila. I knew you could do it. Let me do a quick recap on what you've built across this entire series. Okay, on sheet 1, you define your business, your goal, your ideal customer, your hero offer, your values, your differentiator, your income target, right? We did that. Sheet 2, you wrote your brand vision, where you're going, what people will say about you, what you've stopped tolerating, what revenue feels like it's at the level where you're building towards. Sheet 3, you've named your 3 brand pillars and you've mapped out how you're monetizing each one. Sheet 4, you audited your brand honestly. What needs to change, what you're struggling with, what you're proud of, and where this brand is ultimately going. Sheet 5, you've built your full year roadmap, my favorite. 3 pillars across 4 quarters and 12 months on a single page. Posted up everywhere. Okay, you should be proud of this. Sheet 6, you've built the weekly execution habit content plan by type, media, and caption direction, all connected to your pillars. You did that. You did that. That is a brand strategy, not a vision board, not a mood board. That is a documented, executable, measuring brand strategy. Now, here's what I want you to do. If you've completed the sheets, I want you to DM me on Instagram. at Anthony Allen on Instagram. I genuinely want to know what you've built and what shifted. I want to know if you're listening. If you're listening to this final episode, you still haven't grabbed the strategy sheets yet. I want you to really hear this. You cannot do this work properly in your head. The framework requires the physical structure. You have to put pen to paper. The 6 sheets I laid out for you in a sequence. That's your tool. Everything I've taught in these past 6 episodes lives inside of those 6 pages. The link to grab the strategy sheets is in the show notes right now. They are available to you. They will come straight to your inbox. They are worth every cent. I use it on every client for the past 10 years. And it's going to give you more clarity in a 90-minute session than most women get from 6 months of strategy content online. I'm just telling you. Go get them, do the work, build the brand. I'm Anthony, and thank you for leveling up with me. It means so much. This is the Ladies Who Level Up podcast, and this is just the beginning.